Assalamualaikum everyone, I'm Mahek Fatima. Welcome to part 2 of Indian Accounting Standard. Part 1 has been already uploaded. You can revise part 1 of Indian Accounting Standard from 101 to 19 have been discussed in a very effective way in the previous video, and in this video we are going to continue the Indian Accounting Standards part 2 from Ind AS 20 to 41. Please note, here I am not going to give an in-depth knowledge of the Indian Accounting Standard. Here just we are going to learn the Ind AS number with the title. Are you ready? So let's get started. Ind AS 20 talks about accounting for government grants and disclosure of government assistance. Ind AS 20 talks about accounting for government grants and disclosure of government assistance. Everything related to the government grants, the grants which are given by the government and the assistance taken from the government is dealt in Ind AS 20 for Ind AS companies. So Ind AS 20 is accounting for government grants, the grants which you receive from government. On that we have to do the accounting based on Ind AS 20. And the disclosure of the government assistant. So Ind AS 20 is accounting for government grants and disclosure of government assistant. Take a 2 seconds break and revise it. So Ind AS 20, accounting for government grants and disclosure of government assistant. Next we have 21. Ind AS 21. Ind AS 21 talks about the effects of changes in foreign exchange rates. When Indian company deals with the foreign companies, the exchange that they make in Indian is in rupees and the foreign of a country is like dollars. So what is the exchange difference? The treatment of such exchange difference is dealt in Ind AS 21. So the title goes this: the Ind AS 21 is the effect of changes in foreign exchange rate. Ind AS 21, the effect of changes in foreign exchange rate. Ind AS 21, the effect of changes in foreign exchange rates. Take a 2 seconds break and revise it. Hope you have done. So Ind AS 23. Now we have Ind AS 23. Ind AS 23 is borrowing cost, BC. Ind AS 23 is borrowing cost. Ind AS 23 is borrowing cost. When you get a loan on which you pay interest, this is the borrowing cost. You had made a borrowing on which you incur some cost. This is a borrowing cost. So Ind AS 23 is borrowing cost. It's very small. Ind AS 23 is borrowing cost. Next we have Ind AS 24. Ind AS 24 talks about the related party disclosure. Ind AS 24 is related party disclosure. Ind AS 24 is related party disclosure. Related party disclosure. Ind AS 24. Ind AS 24 related party disclosure. Ind AS 24 related party disclosure. Take a 2 seconds break and revise it. So now Ind AS 27. Separate financial statements. Ind AS 27 is separate financial statements. The 7 starts from S. The word 7 starts from S. So separate financial statements. It comes after 24. Why we don't have 25 and 26? Because it is not provided here. So 24 is related party disclosure. 27 is separate financial statements. 27 is separate financial statements. Now Ind AS 28. Ind AS 28. Ind AS 28 talks about IEAG. IAJ. So IAJ, that is investments in associates and joint ventures. Only you have to remember 3 words: investment that you make in associates and joint ventures. What is associate? Which has significant influence. So Ind AS 28 is investments in ANJ, associates and joint ventures. Please revise it. India's 28 investments in associates and joint ventures. So now we have India's 29. What is India's 29 talks about? Financial reporting in hyperinflationary economies. Oh, there is a very big word, hyperinflationary. Nothing which is increasing very high. The inflation is going very high. So hyperinflationary. FR in hyperinflationary economies. India's 29 is financial reporting in hyperinflationary economies. India's 29 is financial reporting in hyperinflationary economies. India's 29 is, come on, you have to see now. Financial reporting in hyperinflationary economies. Now let's move to India's 20 series have been done. Now 32, that is India's 32 financial instruments presentation. In India's 7 we saw financial instruments disclosure. In India's 109 we saw, sorry I correct myself, in India's 107 we saw financial instruments disclosure. 109 we saw financial instrument. Now in India's 32 we are seeing financial instruments presentation. Okay, presentation. India's 32 is financial instruments presentation. India's 32 is financial instruments presentation. Now next we have India's 33. India's 33 is EPS, simple to learn. India's 33 is EPS, earnings per share. Earnings per share is India's 33. India's 33 is earnings per share. Now next we have India's 34, which is interim financial reporting. India's 34 is interim financial reporting. IFR, interim financial reporting. India's 34 is interim financial reporting. India's 34 is interim financial reporting. India's 34 is, come on, repeat, interim FR, financial reporting. India's 34 is interim financial reporting. Now recall from India's 20 to 34. I'll give 10 seconds. So let's continue. India's 36 is impairment of asset. India's 36 is impairment of asset. India's 36 is impairment of asset. Impairment of asset is India's 36. India's 36 is impairment of asset. This is just to register this all India's numbers with their titles in your subconscious mind. Even when you want to forget it, you should never forget it, okay? So, India's 36 is impairment of asset. The next India's is India's 37. India's 37 is provisions, contingent liabilities and contingent asset. India's 37 is provisions, contingent liabilities and contingent asset. We have a habit of saying assets and liabilities, right? So be careful while you're reading or writing India's 37. It first talks about contingent liabilities and then after contingent asset. So India's 37 is provisions, contingent liabilities and contingent asset. India's 37 is provisions, contingent liability and contingent assets. Recall it. Let's move to the next. Now we have India's 38. India's 38 is intangible asset. 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 Now we have India's 40. India's 40 is investment property. India's 40 is investment property. So just revise it from India's 36. India's 36 is impairment of asset. India's 37 is provisions, contingent liabilities and contingent asset. India's 37 is provisions, contingent liability and contingent asset. India's 37 is provisions, contingent liabilities and contingent asset. Please note here we are reading contingent liabilities first and then contingent asset. So India's 37 is provisions, contingent liabilities and contingent assets. Next we have India's 38, which is intangible asset. India's 38 is intangible asset. Intangible asset, India's is 38. Then we have India's 40, which is investment property. I am going little fast here because I want to save your precious time. And the thing is, these are the short titles, so easily you can remember, okay? So India's 40 is investment property. 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 And the last India's is agriculture, which is 41. India's 41 is agriculture. India's 41 is agriculture. Let's revise all the India's from 20 to 41 in a one shot. So India's 20. I just say the numbers now. So India's 20. Accounting for government grants and disclosure of government assistance. 21. The effect of changes in foreign exchange rate. 23. Borrowing cost. 24. Related party disclosure. 27. Separate financial statement. 28. Investment in associates and joint ventures. 29. Financial reporting in hyperinflationary economies. 32. Financial instruments presentation. 33. Earnings per share. 34. Interim financial reporting. 36. Impairment of asset. 37. Provisions, contingent liabilities and contingent asset. 38. Intangible asset. 40. Investment property. And the last 41 is agriculture. So hope you have learned the India's number. The part 1 is also have been uploaded. Please do check out so that you can learn India's in the most effective and efficient manner. If you like the videos, please subscribe to my channel to get the latest notification. If you find this video helpful, do like this video and share with your friends. Comment your review in the comment section and also you can suggest me topics in which you want me to provide any video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Take care. Allah Hafiz.